Hold on to your hearts, dear viewers, because the melody of Hollywood's golden era has faded into a poignant silence with the passing of Alan Bergman, the Oscar-winning lyricist whose words wove magic into our souls and soundtracks, leaving us all aching for one more verse of his timeless poetry. Born on September 11, 1925, in Brooklyn, New York, Alan discovered his passion for music early, studying at the University of North Carolina and UCLA before enlisting in the U.S. Army during World War II, where he honed his craft editing films for the Signal Corps. But it was his fateful meeting with Marilyn Keith in 1956 that sparked a legendary partnership. They married in 1958 and became the dynamic duo of songwriting, penning heartfelt lyrics for over 50 years that earned them 3 Academy Awards for gems like The Windmills of Your Mind from the Thomas Crown Affair in 1969, The Way We Were from the Barbra Streisand Classic in 1974, and the score for Yentl in 1984, plus 4 Emmys, 2 Grammys, and nominations galore for TV themes like Maude's And Then There's Maude and Good Time's upbeat opener, collaborating with icons like Michel Legrand, Marvin Hamlisch, Frank Sinatra, and Streisand, whose voices brought their words to soaring life and made them the only married couple to win multiple Oscars for songwriting. On the personal side, Alan's life was a beautiful duet with Marilyn, his soulmate and co-creator, until her passing from respiratory failure in January 2022 at age 93, leaving him to carry their legacy alone but with unwavering grace, as he continued writing songs right up to his final days, including a forthcoming album with guitarist Pat Metheny, all while cherishing quiet moments in their Los Angeles home and reflecting on a love that inspired lyrics about enduring romance and heartfelt longing. In a heartbreaking crescendo that feels like the final note of a symphony too grand to end, Alan slipped away peacefully on July 17, 2025, at his beloved home in Los Angeles, California, succumbing to natural causes tied to a respiratory ailment at the age of 99, just shy of his 100th birthday. His family by his side as the world lost a gentle genius whose health had been quietly fading but whose spirit remained eternally vibrant. The news sent shockwaves through Tinseltown and beyond, with fans flooding social media in tearful remembrance, sharing how his lyrics captured the essence of love and loss in ways that healed broken hearts, while celebrities unleashed a wave of profound grief. Barbra Streisand, who immortalized The Way We Were, penned an emotional tribute calling him a father figure and family, praising his undying creative spark that shone until the end. Tony Bennett honored him with a touching video performance of How Do You Keep the Music Playing, declaring it a tribute to the Bergmans' enduring magic. Pat Metheny revealed their upcoming album as a final gift, noting Alan's completion of 9 songs amid his frailty. Mark Stein dedicated an episode of his show to the couple's jangling words that linger in our heads. Cyrus No Rest reminisced about weekend tennis games with Alan, mourning a friend and fellow artist. The New York Times obituaries hailed him as half of a prolific team. Behind TV themes and Oscars, CBS News announced the loss with heartfelt condolences, emphasizing his hits like It Might Be You, and outlets like The Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stone, and NPR echoed the sorrow, with fans and historians alike posting RIP messages that celebrated his Jewish heritage and lyrical legacy, uniting in a chorus of gratitude for a man who made emotions sing. As the curtain falls on this lyrical legend, let us cling to the echoes of his words that remind us how to keep the music playing through life's joys and sorrows. Rest in harmonious peace, dear Alan. Reunited with Marilyn in that great songbook in the sky, your verses will forever dance in our memories, inspiring us to love deeply, live poetically, and cherish every note of the human heart, leaving us emotional, grateful, and forever changed by your beautiful symphony of life. Hold on to your hearts, rock fans, because the thunderous riff that defined a generation has fallen silent forever. George Kooymans, the legendary guitarist and soul of Golden Earring, whose radar love blasted through our speakers like a heartbeat on fire, has left us in a wave of sorrow that echoes across the oceans he conquered with his music. Born on March 11, 1948, in the vibrant streets of The Hague, Netherlands, young George teamed up with his neighbor Rinus Gerritsen at just 13 to form the Tornadoes in 1961, swiftly renaming to the Golden Earrings to dodge a British band's shadow, evolving into Golden Earring and unleashing a rock revolution with over 25 studio albums, nearly 30 top 10 singles in their homeland, and global anthems like the 1973 smash Radar Love that topped Dutch charts, cracked the UK and US top 10, and became the ultimate driving anthem with its pulsating bass and George's raw, electrifying guitar work that captured the thrill of the open road. His songwriting genius shone brightest in 1982's Twilight Zone, a haunting track he penned that soared to number 1 on the US Billboard Top Album Tracks and number 10 on the Hot 100, their only top 10 pop hit stateside, followed by the edgy When the Lady Smiles in 1984 that stirred controversy and adoration alike, all while George produced for artists like his then-girlfriend Bojura, launching her career, and later rocking as part of the supergroup Vreemd Coastgangers with 3 albums from 2017 to 2023 that blended his signature style with fresh Dutch vibes, proving his passion never dimmed even as he battled inner demons. In his personal world, George found his anchor in Melanie Gerritsen, Rinus's younger sister, whom he married in a love story as enduring as his riffs, building a family that included children and grandchildren who filled his life with quiet joy amid the chaos of fame, always staying grounded in his Dutch roots while sharing laughs and wisdom with bandmates who'd become brothers over 6 decades of non-stop touring and triumphs. But fate dealt a cruel blow when George was diagnosed with the relentless thief known as ALS in 2020, forcing his retirement in 2021 and the heartbreaking disbandment of Golden Earring after 60 years, yet he fought with the same fierce grit that powered his solos, holding on until July 22, 2025, when he slipped away peacefully at his home in Rijkevorsel, Belgium, at the age of 77, his body finally yielding to the complications of this unforgiving disease that had stolen his mobility but never his spirit, in a quiet end that contrasted the explosive energy he brought to every stage. The news, tragically overshadowed by Ozzy Osbourne's passing on the same day, still unleashed a flood of grief from fans and stars alike, with heartbroken admirers on social media sharing tearful playlists of Radar Love and Twilight Zone, calling him a criminally underrated legend whose underdog story inspired generations, while Golden Earring's surviving members released a poignant statement praising how he bore his illness with exceptional strength and dignity as a beloved husband, father, grandfather, but above all, a friend. Rock outlets like Rolling Stone and Guitar Player mourned the founding guitarist behind timeless anthems, with tributes pouring in from Dutch media hailing him as the heart of the Netherlands' biggest band ever. Podcasters and YouTubers like Pete Pardo dedicated emotional videos to his legacy, fans posted covers and personal stories of how his music soundtracked their lives, and even everyday rock lovers like Derek Wheeler shared homemade tributes, with one devotee declaring this one hurts as a Dutch icon who conquered the world. Celebrities echoed the pain, with a massive fan in the industry admitting, "I was a massive fan of the man who made Golden Earring soar," and global outlets from ABC News to TikTok creators amplifying calls of RIP to a rock legend whose passing felt like losing a piece of rock's rebellious soul. As we crank up the volume one last time in his honor, let's remember George not for the silence ALS imposed, but for the roar he unleashed upon the world, the humble Hague kid who turned garage dreams into global anthems, teaching us to chase the twilight with unyielding passion and love fiercely through every chord. Rest in rocking peace, dear George, your Radar love will pulse eternally in our veins, a timeless reminder that true legends never fade, leaving us all a little more broken but infinitely inspired by the fire you lit that burns on forever. Hold on to your hearts, wrestling fans, because the larger-than-life icon who body-slammed his way into our souls and defined an era of pure, unbridled Hulkamania has faded from the ring forever, leaving us all reeling in disbelief and tears as Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulkster himself, has tragically departed this world, shattering the dreams of millions who chanted his name like a battle cry. Born Terry Jean Bollea on August 11, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia, Hulk exploded onto the scene in the late 1970s after honing his craft in regional promotions, joining the WWF in 1979 and skyrocketing to superstardom with his signature red and yellow gear, mustache, and booming charisma that birthed Hulkamania, capturing the WWF World Heavyweight Championship a record 6 times, headlining 8 WrestleManias, including the epic showdown with Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in 1987 that drew over 93,000 fans and revolutionizing professional wrestling into a global phenomenon, while crossing over to Hollywood with roles in Rocky III as the thunderous Thunderlips, family flicks like Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny, and even voicing characters in animated hits, amassing a net worth in the hundreds of millions through endorsements, merchandise, and his own Hogan Knows Best reality show that peeled back the curtain on his chaotic yet endearing family life. But behind the pythons and the posing, Hulk's personal world was a roller coaster of triumphs and tempests. He navigated 2 marriages, first to Linda Claridge from 1983 to 2009, with whom he shared daughter Brooke, a singer and reality star, and son Nick, who faced his own legal troubles, and later to Jennifer McDaniel from 2010 to 2021, before finding late-life love with yoga instructor Sky Daly in 2023, all while battling scandals like the infamous 2015 sex tape leak that led to a $140 million Gawker lawsuit victory, health scares including multiple back surgeries, and a public reckoning with racism after leaked audio, yet he bounced back with apologies, faith, and a renewed focus on family, often sharing vulnerable moments about his Christian beliefs and the toll of his punishing career on his body. In a sudden, gut-wrenching blow that no one could have scripted, Hulk suffered a massive cardiac arrest on July 24, 2025, collapsing at his waterfront home in Clearwater, Florida, where paramedics rushed to revive him but ultimately pronounced him gone at the age of 71. His family revealing he had been quietly managing heart issues amid a lifetime of in-ring wars that left his body battered but his spirit unbreakable, a peaceful yet devastating end for the man who seemed invincible. The wrestling universe and beyond erupted in raw, heartbroken tributes as news spread like wildfire, with fans flooding arenas and social media in tears, chanting Hulkamania at WWE events in Ohio and Cleveland while sharing stories of how his larger-than-life persona inspired them to train, say their prayers, and eat their vitamins. One devotee declaring a part of America died today as memorials popped up outside his Florida home and GalaxyCon gatherings turned somber. Celebrities poured out their souls. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson mourned the trailblazer who paved the way for us all. Ric Flair wept in an Instagram post calling him "my close friend who's been by my side since day one." Triple H hailed him as the heart of WWE whose energy was unmatched. Vince McMahon reflected on their epic partnership that built an empire. President Trump remembered him as a great friend and true patriot. Donald Trump Jr. shared throwback photos with emotional captions. Piers Morgan tweeted, "Shock at losing a larger-than-life legend." Brooke Shields expressed sorrow for the icon who lit up screens. J.D. Vance praised his resilience. Matt Hardy reminisced about shared ring moments, and even non-wrestlers like Charlotte Flair posted heartfelt collages, while WWE issued a statement honoring his unparalleled impact and fans raised over $500,000 for his family and ours, all echoing the profound loss of a cultural titan whose roar defined generations. As we wipe away the tears and flex our own inner strength in his memory, let's hold tight to the Hulkster's unbreakable mantra of brotherhood, perseverance, and heart. Rest in glorious peace, brother. Your leg drops shook the earth, your Hulkamania lifted us all, and though the ring feels empty without you, your legend will slam through eternity, inspiring every underdog to rise, believe, and never say die, leaving us forever changed and eternally grateful for the hero who made us all feel invincible.